In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the, anyone? The Great Depression, passed the, anyone? The tariff bill, the Hawley-Smoot Tariff Act, which anyone raised tariffs in an effort to collect more revenue for the federal government. Did it work? Anyone? Anyone know the effects?
Sound familiar? Nearly every American who has waded through the public education system can relate. Whether they went to high school in the 1940s, the 80s, or are currently enrolled. The number one issue that we need to focus on is the classroom itself. The classroom is where the education starts and everything else follows. As Pope John Paul II said,
"As the family goes, so goes the nation, and so goes the world in which we live."
We can also apply this principle to the classroom, which is the most basic unit of the education system. We could substitute,
"As the classroom goes, so goes the school, so goes the education of our children, and so goes the future of our world."
Which is why we aim to change education from the inside out, starting with the classroom. Why does it even need to be called a classroom? Why do we continue to call teachers teachers? The first thought that comes to my mind with the word classroom or teacher is the Ferris Bueller sequence, and I can imagine that most Americans feel the same way. All of these negative connotations destroy the learning before it even begins, which is why we propose that we change the way education happens from the inside out. Our current education methodologies need to be changed for the betterment of ourselves, the future of America, and the future of our children.
We believe that high school should be structured with many similarities to the modern colleges. This much more liberal approach to education will allow students to learn at their own pace or in their own learning style. The ideal high school of the future is more hands-on. It is more geared toward career preparation, but does not exclude the arts. In fact, the arts should be a number one priority. Testing is based more on application than trivial knowledge. It is an environment welcome to professionals of all kinds of careers. There are no age classifications. The education will conform to each individual student and not the other way around. So we are starting from the most important part of the system, the classroom, or the free zone as it will be called. The free zone will be our primary focus in changing education for the better. Almost always, the mentor will be up and about helping students one-on-one. In the center of the free zone is the command center, where the instructor can work on their own when no students need help. Having the instructor's area in the center of the room is one way to break free from the accepted norm. It protests that school is about the students and not about a teacher exercising domination over them. The teacher is always amidst the students as a knowledgeable equal.
education is becoming increasingly more and more technologically advanced. The free zone has electronic touchscreens on each wall. There is no recognized front of the free zone. If at some point the teacher is teaching a lesson and an advanced student feels like they would rather get right to the work, this is encouraged. My favorite part of the free zone, the quiet room, was designed for this very purpose. They're 6 foot by 6 foot, 8 foot by 8 foot, or 6 foot by 8 foot rooms where the student can work quietly on their own. The walls are made of one-way dimmable glass. The teacher can always see in to make sure the student is not misbehaving, but the student can dim the glass so that they cannot be distracted by outside disturbances. The quiet rooms are also soundproof. The 6 by 6 is ideal for a single student. It has a desk and a chair and is quite cozy. The 6 by 8 is ideal for 2 students working together, and the 8 by 8 is comfortable for a small group. Large groups should be comfortable working in the large section of the free zone where group collaboration is encouraged. The desks are easily movable and are even easily removable from the room. Assigned seating is not a word in our future children's vocabulary. The bright colors induce creativity and reduce the monotony. Nothing is out of the picture here.
An important part of the education process that we feel should and will be used more often is mentoring by professionals in the local community. We carefully chose our building site to facilitate and welcome professionals from all over the Wasatch Front.
The school has a wing which acts as a train station for the UTA frontrunner so that the community can have better access to the facilities. The UTA frontrunner is an 88-mile-long, 16-station public transportation train system which connects the cities of the Northern Wasatch Front. The estimated daily ridership is 13,000. Having access to the train station will allow people from all over Utah to come to the facilities here. The site is also located with close access to I-15 for this very purpose. Not only will the students and professionals be using the train station, but the general community will also enjoy the conveniences of the train station, which may include a coffee shop or other fast food businesses. Much of the wow factor comes from the way we connected the train station to the school. A large glass sky bridge spans the road. This makes a perfect connection between the school commons and the community. You enter the bridge and you are suspended above the road as if in flight. Glass encompasses you, allowing a deeper connection to your surroundings. Although the sun shines down, the air is cool and comfortable. You sit down in a cafe seat with your lunch. It's a shame you have to go back to work. This environment is what we want people to experience as they come into our school. The bridge empties out directly into the school, where the experience is continued. We would call it the commons for lack of a better word, but the whole school is so open that it's quite commons-like.
Let's take a tour of the design process and how we created the high school of the future.
Okay. You think you learn better when there's a different variety?
Yeah, just a different variety of colors. I mean, if it's just white,
Okay.
it forces you to.
Who's our note taker? We need to write down. That's great. So not white walls. What else? Cool. It doesn't look like this one at all. Maybe it's just a meeting room that I don't want to give you guys ideas. I just want you to think kind of differently than what you've experienced throughout your whole school career.
So think about the way you learn. All kind of STEM around technology.
Actually,
We're Googling it, we're YouTubing it.
Shops. Having a shop like
Hands-on
this.
shop where you
Yeah.
can.
Perfect.
Okay. So we've got that too.
Would be like the foods lab, or the office would be above.
We're saying this is the lowest.
Yeah.
Do we want a path underneath the road and up above?
However tall you want. So let's say you want 40 feet.
Because then you don't have to go upstairs to the building. You can just be downstairs and go straight through.
Yeah, maybe their buildings are connected.
Also, if you're walking outside.
So the bridge is a garden?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But
you have
You
to
don't
walk
even,
outside.
you don't even
if
think
So
of
let's
that
say,
you're
you
on
want to change the
bridge.
shape,
It's
you have to draw a line.
vegetation and you
Let's say you
walk.
want
And
more
it's
looking
like
like
glass.
that.
Yeah.
Basically,
Oh, so
push
if it's
that.
glass,
Like a
So
line
you
down.
meander.
I was thinking this was completely outside.
See how
when you
it's
said
weird,
garden.
like zebra?
I'd be like, that'd
Yeah.
be cool, right?
Push that, it disappears.
Our school will have minimum harm to the local and global ecosystem. The environment and topography of the site will be considered while designing the building so that there will be as little impact on the ecosystem around it. The building is oriented so that the free zones are facing the north and south to utilize the sun to easier manage the sunlight and heat of the building. The lighting inside the building will all be LED instead of conventional lighting because LED lights have much stronger light.
much longer life. Because LED lights have a much longer life. They are much more energy efficient, and they are also ecologically friendly. LED lights use none of the toxic material that is used in conventional fluorescent light bulbs, and LED lights are also 100% recyclable. Green space will be incorporated around the exterior of the building with an atrium on the 3rd floor of the building, with trees and other foliage to provide green space in the building as well. This area will promote an environmental lifestyle in the fact that it creates a calming environment for an outdoor feeling inside the school. Environmental impact was an important factor for our group in the brainstorming phase of the design process. It was decided that green space would be provided on the interior as well as the exterior, and we decided to have a minimum impact of the ecosystem.